I want to extend appreciation to His Excellency the President for the guidance that he rendered to us throughout the process of amending this act, and also for assenting to the act in a timely manner, especially at a time when many workers are struggling to make ends meet due to effects of COVID-19 pandemic. I've already seen on my Twitters tags from workers talking about a gift for school fees and others. I also would like to extend appreciation to cabinet members, the Speaker and Deputy Speaker of Parliament, members of Parliament, especially workers, members of Parliament, the Committee on Gender, Labour and Social Development of Parliament, the First Parliamentary Council, National Organization of Trade Unions, Central Organization of Free Trade Unions, and the Federation of Uganda Employers, who contributed immensely to the fruition of this bill and the milestone. As far as the act is concerned, I would like to guide the country, because since yesterday there has been a lot of excitement and a lot of questions in equal measures. Some think that immediately they will now pick the money. They might even walk to the chairman's office to pick the money. So it is important that we guide you on the processes and let the country know what is left to be done for you to access the money. Therefore, let me guide as follows. 1, the NSSF Amendment Act shall come into force upon publication in the Uganda Gazette in the coming days. We are working with the First Parliamentary Council to, as soon as possible, gazette. I will therefore inform the country in due course as soon as possible when this critical action has been implemented. Number 2, the provision regarding midterm access to benefits by qualifying members of the fund shall come into effect after I have issued a statutory instrument that will guide on the terms, conditions, and procedures for accessing the benefits. So the Act stipulates that the minister must put in place a regulation. That regulation is supposed to clearly state the terms of accessing the benefit, the condition, and procedure. This instrument, once I have issued, has to be laid before Parliament for information. That is what we agreed in Parliament, and therefore the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development is working and now in advanced stages of drafting the regulations. I have also received assurances, because many people have been asking, people even have conspiracy theories about whether the money is there or not, whether the money is even here or in Uganda or is in heaven. But I want to assure the country that the fund, the chairman is here, he will add, is ready to implement the act once the procedure is being put in place, and the ministry will ensure that the act is implemented, and the fund has assured us and cabinet and the president that the fund is available for the about 899,000 plus savers or people who qualify, because it's not everybody who qualifies. So the number that qualifies, I think, is about 900,000, and that's 899 something, but that number which we have the fund that will be able to support them. So I want to restate again who are the people that will benefit for avoidance of doubt. Therefore, the categories that will benefit from this act are two. The first one is a member who is 45 years of age and above and has saved or made a contribution to the fund for at least 10 years. Good faith, government has good faith, Parliament had good faith by making the law. Everybody joined hands together to support workers to make this law. We all have good faith because the workers are our own. They are our relatives. I am always there. People are coming from everywhere. They are our own. We are not detached from, we don't fly from, we don't drop from heaven. We are Ugandans. We are human beings. So we understand the difficulties and challenges that Ugandans are going through, our own relatives are going through. So us seated here on behalf of government will make sure we make a provision for accessing which anybody from wherever you are, you can apply, and maybe even from your sitting room. These days I see these people, high-tech, that you can even shop online. You might be able to even use your phone to apply. So for us, we know it is 20% access. But if you come and say, I want less than 20%, that is your discretion. So in the terms and conditions, we'll discuss all those. But as the law stands now, it is the discretion is on the side of the person requesting. But for us, the law says up to 20%. And so anybody who requests for 20% shall be given the 20%. But you are not barred from asking below 20% under the law. The second category are persons with disability, 40 years of age. So for disability, theirs is a little bit okay. It's 40 years of age and above, and has made a contribution to the fund for at least 10 years. And for them again, theirs is a little bit liberal. They have access up to 50% of their savings. So for persons with disability, your 40 years saved for 10 years, at least 10 years and above, you can access 50%. The fund, the new act, also gives so many opportunities to the workers and the country at large. And some of the new opportunities which did not exist in the previous act, provisions of the previous act, which is in the new act, is that it has now expanded social security coverage in Uganda, whereby every worker is now eligible to save with the fund. So now every worker can save. In the previous one, it was company or organization, 5 workers and above. But now, every worker. So it has expanded the scope. The other issue is that it is in the Act, the NSS, it has now defined that every employer, if you are an employer, and the employer is defined in the Act, you are now obliged to contribute to NSSF for your workers, irrespective of the numbers employed. Previously, if you employed 1 or 2 up to 4, you were not obliged to save on behalf of your employee. With the new act, people who are only 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, the employer is now obliged to also save for you. So we have also protected the small macro enterprises that employs very few people. They can now also save for their workers. And every worker also can voluntarily save with the fund over and above the 15% contribution. So you can wake up and say, I have a lot of money, I have my other business. Instead of only putting the 15%, you tell your employer, or you yourself decide, I will be contributing additional 10% to make 25% or even 50%. So this now permits you to save over and above the 15 mandatory percentage. So this one will, and good enough, the chairman and the team is working hard for your interest rate. The interest rate in the economy for bonds, for securities, these days are very low. But I think it's NSSF with the highest in the market now. So I think many people are now going to shift to save with NSSF over and above the normal 15%. So these are the opportunities that people are not talking so much about. People have been talking so much about midterm access. But I want you to start thinking, because this is a saving that you don't need to scratch your head. For you, you sleep, you work, someone else is scratching their head to make sure that your money, the interest accrued, is good enough on a yearly basis. So I want to encourage Ugandans, take opportunity. In many countries like Singapore, like Malaysia and others, a social security fund is a very big player and a very big saving mechanisms for the ordinary people. So I want to encourage you to now use this opportunity and save more so that you can secure your future through NSSF, because it will enhance adequacy of your social security benefits as you grow old and as you exit the hard-working environment. So these are the clarification we want to make to the workers, and we want to assure those who are so much thinking about school fees that you will have to please be patient a bit. The law is put in place for us to follow. This particular one says after the president has sent, it's gazetted, but after gazettement, we have to make a statutory instrument, and good enough, the time frame for making the statutory instrument is stipulated in the law. It's within 60 days, but we will work hard to make sure that probably we don't reach the 60 days. If we get all the cooperation from the workers and all the association, that we are able to reach consensus on the terms and conditions and get all the team that will work with us, we hope to accelerate the statutory instrument to allow the workers access. But I congratulate them, and I want to request the chairman if you want to add something. Chairman?
Whatever the minister has said, that's what it is. My job was to escort the minister, because we have got an elaborate communication infrastructure. So from now on, starting this week actually, we are going to be communicating properly and everything, the various steps we are going to take. What we have built at the fund is an elaborate information and communication infrastructure to make sure that things are clear and concise and simple to everyone. So that's what we are going to do, starting actually end of this week. So we will be communicating the best way we can, so that it's very clear to all members of all levels of society, so that there is clarity. The amount of money we are talking about is about 904 billion shillings that is going to be shared among the members who are actually eligible to access this. So really good people, I would like you to spare your time and wait until we are able to communicate all the modalities and the terms and conditions for implementation of this act. We are already happy and satisfied enough that we have taken the most crucial step. The president has signed the bill into law. That's already a major impact. Our job is to prove that we as Ugandans, we can be as efficient as possible and effective too in our systems. NSSF is one of the most technologically enabled and data-driven enterprise in this country.